Right, so what are the main challenges facing the economy now and in the future? What I think that's currently happening is that the LEPs, the combined authority, the local authorities, they've got all of their skills plans in place because obviously they see that as an issue. But for me, I think the things that I would list is that there's an ageing workforce and there's no replacement of that workforce. There's also the productivity gap in as much as we're working really, really hard, we're beavering away, but we're not getting very far in terms of productivity. In terms of the skills that people have, that is one thing that is a concern to the local authorities and also the LEPs, because we've got on-field vacancies, we've got apprenticeships that are going on-field, and because there is a mismatch between the skills that people have and also what's needed in the economy. Right, so what skills do we need to nurture in our young people in schools and colleges? That is something that has been asked over and over for years and years. And maybe it's the same things, it's the same skills that are needed. What's happened is that the economy is very dynamic, it changes, but in terms of the skills that people need, they're the same, and there are things like the age-old one, the communication skills. We always trot that one out, but it's really, really important. But we've got thinking skills, we've got skills of problem solving, but one of the biggest one I think is resilience. Because in this age where you go out into the labour market, you're not going to be there in one job all the time, and you've got to be able to pick yourself up, brush yourself off and start all over again, as the song says. So I believe that resilience is one of them, and I can trot out things like team working. That is really, really important because in industry now you have to work as a partnership, as a team, as it were, and obviously you've got to listen. You have to be prepared to be able to be flexible. That is really, really important because you'll be asked to do so many things. You won't want to do it, but you've just got to be so flexible that you're seen as a good employee. They have been catapulted by the government into having a role in meeting the skills challenge. Employers have been catapulted in meeting the skills challenge because for the past 4 years a lot of initiatives have involved employers, but I think that employers do have a big role to play because they could influence the curriculum. They could be, for example, teaching employability skills within the curriculum. They could be offering work experience. They could be offering work tasters for people who are not clear about what they want to do, but they want to try it out. They could majorly, I think, employers should be listening to education. Because employers think that schools and colleges don't educate for employment, but actually they need to be within the system of schools and colleges to understand how they're teaching, young people what the qualifications mean, because sometimes employers think that they want 10 GCSEs when actually they want somebody who's really very positive, who's very committed, who wants to work hard. And the qualifications, yes, is really important, but those soft skills are needed as well. What I would say is that young people need to be prepared to not be in the same job forever and a day. I think, such as myself, I could have been in the same job for a very long time, but things have changed and they'll have to be changing constantly. For young women, I would say that think that you can go into a domain that may be occupied by men. I'm thinking here now about the STEM subjects, because you will earn a lot of money and you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't try and go into those areas of work. So I'd say, young women, get on with it and please do it. The other thing that I'd say to young people, just be positive, be committed in what you do, consider the quality of what you do, because that's really important. Listen, learn, and just enjoy yourself. Because a job is something that you're giving a lot of your time to, so it's important that you enjoy what you do. But actually, that enjoyment isn't the end of the story. You've got to be a good employee as well. So those other things of positivity, commitment, and sort of just being